Hello, Rand. Tells me streams are working. I also... just remembered something. No, wait, that was with standard OBS. Bugger. Which means there'll probably be a problem here. Is there a way for me to... My day's going pretty good. I mean, I put my foot in my mouth talking with my girlfriend earlier, but that's normal. I do that quite often. I don't know why there isn't the ability to add an audio delay on Streamlabs. It's weird. Hey, AI. Hello, Nuke. Just seeing if I can do a thing. Is it possibly under filters, I wonder? New. Possibly under here. Yes! Okay, that's where it is. It's hidden from me. There we go. That should work better. Yeah, I'm just gonna get started with some Turf War. If anyone watching would like to do, like, league battles, let me know. Oh, excuse me. There is a chance we might get a private battle going, but it's gonna take there being enough people here. Because I know I tend to sound like a bit of a broken record with this, but I just don't like small private battles. Not for streaming, anyway. In, like, away from streaming, I don't mind them. I just, you know, don't like doing them on stream. Because they are so tiny. I think that person is lagging. Could be wrong on that, though. That was, you know, close. It's fine, Nuke. You can keep being Waluigi if you want. Keeps the chat active. That was the worst throw ever. I'm done. Being Waluigi is an okay thing to be. Don't let your memes be dreams. I said hi to you. I might have said it decently low, but I'm 90% certain I said hello to you, Nuke. Ow. If we lose, I blame the Octobrush. I mean, I'm pretty sure I tend to. I mean, I don't ever say hello to Waluigi, but, you know. That was embarrassing. Don't ignore that. Ow. We might both be crazy, let's be honest. There's a very high chance of that. It's clear where mine and my teammates' priorities lied, but it brought us victory. So I don't want to become aiming. That doesn't sound very good. I just got done playing some Earth Defense Force 5, so I might actually be a little better than normal. Because usually, this will be my first time playing any sort of shooter. So normally, I need to, you know, get the hang of shooting again every day. But today I've already had the hang of shooting. Gotten back into English. I can do it. So I need to not move my head very fast. Because I'm currently not wearing a shirt because some sort of bug fell into the sleeve of my shirt. Because I wear button-up shirts, like dress shirts, and they tend to have a little, like, gap in the sleeve. And some sort of bug fell into that, and I don't know what kind of bug it was. I'm assuming it was a spider, but my shirt is across the room right now. And my hair is so long, if I were to, like, move my head quickly, it just moves entirely over my back. Which is not exactly pleasant. It gives me cold chills. I don't either, Nuke. They are spawns of evil. Do they have a disconnect, or are they just not able to advance? Yeah, I'm gonna come back this way. 'Cause there's turf to be had. Yeah, I think they're just having a very hard time advancing. And I feel bad not being on the front now, because it's like they're losing to not even the whole team. Oh, jeez. Oh? Who would that be there, Rand? I assume the guy that just murdered me? Oh, so the guy I just murdered. Okay. Like that. If you would grab the flamethrower to deal with spiders, then, what was it, then? Actually, no, that's not the Kensa. Ah, so his pride is on the line. I don't have any pride, so, I mean... back quite far enough. But yeah, if you would go with Flamethrower, then you would get along well with the Ranger and Earth Defense Force. Rangers get Flamethrowers. Fencers also get Flamethrowers, but the Fencer's Flamethrower is utterly useless without extra equipment to make it more useful. Because the Fencer's Flamethrower in Earth Defense Force has one major weakness that it makes no sense that a Flamethrower would have. It has massive amounts of recoil. To the point where you pull the trigger after it spins up, because it's a flame minigun, and then you're looking at the sky. I should try doing another stream of Earth Defense Force, because I've really limited the number of things I have open. And I have 5 now, thanks to my sister. She bought it for me, and I am really thankful of that. Hello, Beast Mode. I should change weapons after this. I am doing rather well. How are you doing? I should have asked that of you as well, Rand. How are you doing? How are both of you doing? How's everybody doing? Ow. Well, that must have been embarrassing for that roller. Also, jeez, I've not encountered a single hacker in all of my time playing Splatoon. Like, I've almost wanted to encounter one. Well, I suppose. I've encountered a few people I have been suspect of. But I can't confirm anything. Especially because a lot of hacking could just appear to be lag. Because nothing's been, like, overt hacking. I've seen a few snipers I have been very suspect of. Just because of how well they were doing. Like, they're the kinds of snipers that, like, they're doing nearly impossibly well. And snap aiming complete 180 degrees. Like, that's decently suspect. Yeah, that's my general thought, is like, well, maybe they're just really good at aiming, or maybe they have, like, a surround sound headset or something on. Like, there are... Like, that's why I've always said I'm suspect of people, but I've never really outright called anyone a hacker. Other than I don't want to have ninja syndrome happen. Yeah, I'll go with this. Use the splash for a bit. But yeah, like, I've never seen anyone that I would say is, like, overtly hacking, so... I kind of want to. Like, if I could run into someone that could be definitively shown to be aimbotting, I would love that. Because that is one of my favorite things to do in games, is to snipe aimbotting snipers. I don't know how well I would do, but any kill on them is enough. Like, I quite enjoy doing that with Team Fortress 2. Because they'll get frustrated that you're sniping them. Because, you know, they're cheating. They should be better than you. I'm dead. Yeah, as long as hackers are, like, keeping their hacking to salmon run, I'm gonna be happy with that. I am the type of person that if, like, ow, someone could be definitively shown to be hacking in, like, Turf War or Ranked, that's the point where I'd be reporting them. Because at that point, they're ruining the fun for everybody else. Like, and that's just not cool. Ow. I mean, I could try going E-liter scope. I forget if I was better at sniping with scopes or non-scopes. Ow. I mean, I could see Sticks and Sniper going decently well together. I myself would still only play with motion, because the fine adjustments you can make are just worth it, in my opinion. Ow. And it's like that's kind of the debate that's always existed with Splatoon, is like, oh, sticks or motion, which is better? Neither is better. It's just kind of... It comes down to you getting used to a control scheme. They both have their advantages. Like, for sticks, up and down is a lot easier. Because you don't have to hold your controller in an awkward way to look up or down. You just move the stick. Left and right, that is honestly, I think, better for motion, because you have the added bonus of being able to do the motion left or right, or just stick left or right. And the main thing that's kept me suspect of some people that do 180s is, just, well, when you're coming up completely behind them, and you should be mostly unnoticeable. Like, that makes me suspect of people. But like I said, if they have a good surround sound headset, they're gonna hear you coming up from behind them. I started the first game with sticks because I couldn't really deal with motion that well. But after some time, I got convinced by the stream chat to play with, motion, and I've not really looked back since. I'm so bad at aiming. And right here is why I'm bad at aiming. Like, you guys probably just saw my shaky hands. I have very, very shaky hands. That is undoubtedly why I'm not the best sniper in Splatoon. Yeah, get around the corner. Yeah, I got 4 kills. It's not terrible, I guess. I can almost be guaranteed my hands are so shaky because of how long I spent playing StarCraft 2 and just ruining my wrists and forearm. Like... I still take pride in the fact that I was a Master League Zerg player. Like, I got to Masters, and then I stopped. Because my wrists were routinely hurting every time I played. I mean, I'm a decent in-between when it comes to the Swiffer. Like, I'm not a god with it, but I'm not bad with it either. I'm just, you know, I'm kind of an in-between. And also, yeah, to go back to what you're saying there, Beast, I would honestly, like, if it helps him decide to give them a shot, just inform your friend that a tiny streamer said he should give Motion at least a try. There's no reason not to at least try it. Just the thing he'd have to do is do his absolute best to not be biased. Because a lot of people that have problems with motion only really have them because they're convinced motion controls are bad. And they don't actually give motion a fair shake. Because I'm trying to focus on turfing and not failing miserably. Ow. That's why I did not booyah back. I turfed the most on the team. They should feel ashamed. Okay, I need to put the sniper away. I do apologize. I wish I could do more games, but my shaky hands are getting to me. I'll grab a squiffer. Which will mean no tenacity. I wouldn't say motion control's cheap. Now, what's cheap is if, say, Splatoon had a mouse and keyboard option. That would be cheap, because then people who didn't have mouse and keyboard just couldn't compete. But everybody has motion controls. There's nothing cheap about them. Everyone can use them, everyone can get good with them. I mean, I could grab a bamboozler, but I'm gonna do horribly with it. Ow. That one Tentamissile took so much longer than the rest. I thought they had all fallen. I should have been counting them. My guess would be, he might not be saying it, but honestly, he sounds a lot like how my oldest brother is. And just hates motion controls because they're new, and he don't like them. That's about as far as that goes. I know my oldest brother would get mad at me for that. Says, no, they're just unreliable. No, he just refuses to try them because he wasn't immediately good with them, so that makes them unreliable and bad. I will booyah that person for saving my life. Happy birthday to that person, whoever that is. I know nothing of Fortnite. My oldest brother also doesn't play Fortnite. At least I hope he doesn't. I hope he has better tasting games than that. You know, that's a case of shots fired, but I hate Fortnite. I hate Battle Royales. The update that introduced the Splattershot Pro that also added more maps. That is the one I'd say was the best Splatoon update. I absolutely hate Battle Royales. I don't care how many people would dislike me for saying that. I just don't like Battle Royales at all. I think they're stupid and far too luck-based. Because I understand that there's still some skill to using weapons, but when some weapons are factually better than others, and... Did that say peck? I need to... That is a Hat in Time fan, I'm guessing. Like, the only good thing that Battle Royales do is it keeps, you know, terrible gamers away from other games. Like, I've legit had people try and tell me that, like, things like Fortnite aren't luck-based. But you have to physically find weapons, and they spawn randomly. That adds luck to the game. If it wasn't luck-based, then, you know, one would assume people like Ninja wouldn't die, you know, ever. Because he would, at this point, have the best of everything and a lot of time in the game. Ow. Yeah, if there is a Splatoon 3 and it has a Battle Royale mode, I'm just going out here now and saying I will never play that game mode. I might play the game itself, but I will definitely be thinking less of Splatoon 3 for having a Battle Royale mode. And if you want to know how deep my hatred of Battle Royales go, I've never even played Puyo Puyo Tetris. And I probably never will. thought I was far enough back. Oh, he has special power-ups. That would explain it. I should really stop using the Squiffer. Yep, I do know that you can, that it charges just as fast in the air on the ground. That update was the one that basically made me go, welp, the Bamboozler's out of a job. Because part of the benefit of the Bamboozler was the fact that it charged really fast. And then they took that away from it, in a way. Because charging mid-air trumps charging fast. Now let's try Dually Squelch. Dually Squelch with Tenacity. I'll probably not be the one alive most of the time. I should really run Tenacity with my Undercover. I'd lose a lot of run speed, though. Actually, I could put on my run speed shoes, and that would fix that problem. Then I wouldn't lose as much run speed. Because I tend to be really good at staying alive with the Undercover. I'd probably stay alive even better if I wasn't so hyper-aggressive. Alright, Rand. Right, the Bamboozler. Sorry. I completely forgot. I'll grab it after this. I'll use this as a bit of a palate cleanser. For me. Anyone I splat is probably like, Tenacity! Why would you run that? And quite often because I don't trust my team to stay alive. Well, quite simply, that's why I run it. Though it seems like this time, you know, my team's doing actually a pretty good job of staying alive. Ow. And then I died. Hello, non-existent. Also, Rand, if you're still around, it is alright that you don't stick around the entire stream. I'm just glad I can provide what little entertainment I do. I know my night streams are late night for a lot of people. I mean, they're late night for me, I'm just awake at this time. You know, how much better would Tenacity be if it gained extra effects the closer you were to the enemy spawn? Ow. I feel bad for that Squiffer. They were trying to shoot me. Okay, this needs turfed, guys. Like, how hard is that to understand? That way we can just swim straight out of spawn. Oh, we have beacons. Who has the beacons? Someone who has no mains of sub power up, I'm not touching their beacons. For those who may not be in the know, ow. Sub power up makes your beacons amazing. Rolling around at the speed of dualies. Like, in my opinion, if you're gonna run a beacon weapon, you should be running sub power up. Because all of the beacon kits are subpar without it because they do have beacons. like, the alternate ballpoint kit is arguably better. Because it doesn't have beacons. I've been pretty good on Existent. My sleep schedule's been all over the place, which is why there hasn't been many streams. I will actually use the Bamboozler too, because it is my favorite Bamboozler. I haven't used it all that much, but actually I've used this one more. I've turfed more with the first one. But I like Burst Bomb Rush, so... Like, after this one, I'm gonna grab one of my beacon kits. I have an entire equipment set specifically dedicated to using beacons. I'm not gonna do more than the one match with the Bamboozler, because I'm more gonna be playing the Burst Bomb Rush than I am the Bamboozler. Yeah, have you been on Existent? Ow. I mean, I'd say Curling Bomb Rush is better. That's the bucket, right? The soda sloshing machine, if I remember right. The one on Team Yellow makes it look like it's throwing something else other than ink. Why are there two tent umbrellas? Yeah, I think the Curling Bomb Rush is the better Bomb Rush, purely because of its area denial. See, Curling Bomb Rush, in my opinion, is good because it doesn't splat people. It denies them the ability to enter an area entirely, and gives you massive amount of turfing while you're doing it. And you can use it from relative safety. And it's on an arrow spray. The fact that it's on an arrow spray makes it infinitely more usable. Ow. And I would run main power-up if I had enough to actually have it matter. But I really don't, so... Yeah, you can jump over one curling bomb, but what about the one coming right behind it? And the one behind that, and the one behind that, and the one behind that? Yeah, I don't have a kit with I don't have enough equipment to get the 99.9 damage on the Bamboozler, so I run special charge up so I get the Burst Bomb Rush as fast as possible. While not sacrificing my ink resist. I mean, I had five Burst Bomb Rushes that time. Okay, I'll do the soda, then I'll grab a beacon kit. I'm not good with the sloshing machine at all. I'm good with the sloshing machine, just not the just regular slosher. might regret this, but I'm gonna try and counteract how slow this weapon is. Yeah, I'm not good with it. 10.5. Trust me, that was my team carrying me more than me actually helping. But I am gonna try and bring back Dynamo time. So whenever I feel like I'm closing in on the final hour of the stream, I will swap to using nothing but the Dynamo. So it'll be probably at a roughly different time every night. Because, well, my streams tend to be ending at different times. Sometimes I'll go 2 hours, sometimes I'll go 3, sometimes I'll go an hour and a half, sometimes I'll only go an hour. Nah, it wasn't really. I tend to not get all that confused what people look like. I tend to just pay more attention to, are they shooting me or are they not shooting me? If they're shooting me, then I need to shoot them. If they're not shooting me, then I don't need to shoot them. Fair enough. I haven't been paying much attention to names, so I do apologize if any of you are playing and I've not exactly noticed. Ow. Ah, fair enough. So I'm assuming you know, or, you know of, or are friends with the same person that Rand was mentioning. The dark guy. Alright, Brian, I will get to that after this match. I will be backing out to get to the front of this, by the way. Just so anyone who is in this match or joining knows. Oh jeez, I'm out of ink. I am not doing great with Burst Bomb Rush tonight. I'm getting it a lot, but I'm not doing great with it. I'm dying so much to that Octobrush. My shame is palpable. I still stand by brushes suck. I just suck more with the bucket. My girlfriend is really good with the slosher, and I am really bad with it. We balance each other out. That's fine, beast mode. That's why I keep my phone plugged in at all times. I say phone. It's more of an Android device. How about I meet you halfway and I'll use an Octobrush with beacons? Right, I was gonna back out. Sorry, Brian, I'll have to get to it after. Actually, no. No, that's just that. Like, bleh. It's like, wait, no, I can just back out here. No, brain, that's not how this works. Now I need this. And I need this. There we go. So it'll have to be after this one. My memory is not great. So it's one more and then I'll back out. Still crying. That's... Yeah, people tend to still cry for quite a while after something happens that causes them to cry. So, I mean... These are not great maps for beacons, but I'm gonna try and make it work. Sturgeon isn't terrible. Manta is pretty bad. Well, I suppose Manta isn't horrible. There are a few spots beacons can go. There's 2 spots where enemy teams tend to not even notice your beacons. It's great. Get my ink back. There we go. Ow. I am running all the sub power up. My hat has 1 main, 2 subs of sub power up. My shoes have 1 main, 2 subs of sub power up. It's a high lag. Okay, I died to a freighter. That's great. Nobody knows what I mean by that. It's okay. Oi! Rude! It's private property! Stop destroying my stuff, unexistent! That's private property you're breaking! It's not like my team is even using them. This is the problem I have with... I'd rather not go ink brush if I'm honest. I hate brushes. The Octobrush is just one of the better beacon weapons. It's the only reason I'm really using it, and have used it. Brushes are fun, but like, my finger is already starting to get tired. See, they're only the best if you're good with dualies, and I am not good with dualies. But yeah, that location over there is one of the best for beacons. People tend to not even notice the beacon. It only works if you've only got 1 there, because if you start getting more than 1, they become more noticeable. But... now, I'm going to back out, get to that front quest. I'm going to change up my equipment because, as I mentioned, my finger is already getting tired. I'd honestly say, as far as beacons go, that the ballpoint is probably the best because it gives you the best range to ink consumption for your main weapon. The E-liter is decent, but it's not great, purely because of just how much ink it needs to get a full one-hit KO. Yeah, my mains in the first game were specifically the Splatling Remix, the Forged Splattershot Pro, and the Koro Splat Roller. Should grab the Kensa Splat Roller. I had swim speed gear. I am pretty bad with rollers now. I used to be pretty good with them. Like, I had the timings down for doing, you know, ink striking, striking from the ink. No. The Koro had a very unique playstyle to it. I don't know if you remember the Koro, but I definitely do. It was a roller that had Splash Wall and Ink Zuka. It was a roller that could trap people and force them to take your swing. Which made it amazing. Not many people liked it because there were better options. Ow. Like, if I'm being honest, the other rollers were better. The Krakon had, well, the Kraken, and everyone swore by it, even though I didn't like the Kraken at all. I know those are fighting words right there, but I think the Kraken was overrated. Bubbler was far superior. And the standard had... Oh, geez, what did the standard even have? I don't remember. The standard had something that made it worth using. I think it was Ink Strike. Made it an immensely good turfing weapon. Right! Killer Whale, that's what it was. Why didn't I think of that? It was my sister's main. Purely because she just liked the Killer Whale. Oh, jeez. She would also just roll around the place. Like, she would almost never actually swing. I loved how the Heavy Splatling remix basically played around the Killer Whale rather than the other way around. I was an A- player in the first game. I honestly think I still would be if I were to try and play ranked even now. I was definitively A-. Like, I could get a little above it, but I'd always fall back down to A-. In this one, I'm X rank. Like, I have my, I have my rank, my stream rank just preserved on my stream save, so. Maps and modes are updated. The first Splatoon is really good. It, like, between the two games, they're equals. You can't really go wrong with either of them. Just the one thing I'll note, in the first Splatoon, X is jump. Not B. Makes it you know, makes it decently hard to get used to going from one to the other, because you'll go to push the wrong button. Well, it's because on the Wii U, the right stick is above the directional buttons. Not directional buttons, but like the face buttons. So, it makes sense that it would be X, because that's the closest button to the right stick. Ow. Well, I just explained why Beast Mode. It's just the closest button to the stick. That way you don't have to take your thumb that far away from the stick to jump. You just need to basically slide it down. Same as in Splatoon 2 here, you just have to slide your thumb up. Which is another advantage of motion controls, is that I can hold the stick up and have my thumb always on jump at all times. I mean, it doesn't help that the sticks are horrible and mine are not working well. Ow. Killed by a tato. I am honestly not the biggest fan of carbon rollers, because the timing is so much harder to manage that. Like, this kind of motion. Which is the closest thing that you can get to the old horizontal swing out of Ink. You don't have as much momentum, but it's something. It pretends. Killed by Crom. Oh no! Fire Emblem Awakening is showing up now. Ugh, cursed times. The selective breeding simulator. I know a lot of people will disagree with this, but I honestly don't feel that Fire Emblem Awakening actually saved the Fire Emblem series. Well, I don't think Fire Emblem Awakening itself saved the Fire Emblem series. The fact we got a new Fire Emblem game saved the Fire Emblem series. Honestly, like, my opinion as a lifelong Fire Emblem fan, Awakening did a lot of things wrong and got praise for it. I don't know, I actually think I like the Deco more than the Standard. I'm not a fan of either of them, but yeah, I'll just stick with this for now. It is not Dynamo time yet. I will get to Dynamos, but it'll be the final hour of the stream. Or at least close to it. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be able to manage another 2 hours, so... Ugh. But yeah, Fire Emblem Awakening did a lot of things wrong. But it got fans excited because it was a new Fire Emblem game. Like, Fire Emblem would not have been in as much of a funk as it was had they released new Mystery of the Emblem on the DS. But they didn't. Jeez, that's early to get up for school. I didn't get up until 8. But I also lived incredibly close to the school. And in my final 3 years of school, I biked to school. It was still like 2.5 kilometers each way, but it's not actually all that far in the grand scheme of things. It took me about like 10 minutes. 10-20 minutes to bike. I enjoyed biking that. I didn't really go to school that often. Like, I'd leave, I'd go the direction of school, but I wouldn't actually go. Don't ever do that. Like, don't skip school. Yeah, my school took in at 8:25 and got out at 3:25. Like, that's when the doors officially opened for students to enter, was 8:25. Ow. I meant 8. The early time... Trent! He's a treant. I don't trust treants. They're all secretive and stuff. I never did homework. I never did any schoolwork that wasn't graded, and homework was never graded for me. Like, at my school, it was never graded at all, so I just refused to do it. I was a straight A student, so I didn't need the practice. So... I like suction bombs, but I like sticking them to walls that people generally fall down past. Yeah, I'll go carbon. I hate carbon, but I'll go carbon. Actually, I'm gonna use the deco myself, because I don't usually remember to use... No, I'll go default, so I have the, I have a more usable special, because I don't usually remember to use subs. See, even then, I'd be the type of student to look at it and go, well, it's probably only about 10% of my total grade. So what does it matter, really? As long as I don't mess up too many other things, what does it matter? As you might be able to tell, I was not the best student. I was, as a lot of teachers put it, too smart for my own good. Because I would sit down at the beginning of the year and figure out exactly what I needed to do to pass every class. And I would do that much work and no more. Because the only thing I ever actually cared about doing was tests. In my opinion, if I could ace a test, that proved I knew the work. And I aced every test without fail until I started taking chemistry. And that's only because I hadn't studied chemistry before. I was learning it entirely new. Yeah, that sounds about as many classes as I had. Once again, I never did homework. Even in the classes it was marked, I still never did it. Are these good? Those are actually good beacons. Okay. Yeah, if you take anything away from what I've been saying, don't skip school. Ever. Grade 12 is much more important than being frustrated with the broken system that is schooling. Without your grade 12, you will be in the exact same position I'm in, which is an unemployable position. Now, I dropped out of school because of, other problems that are not PG. To put it simply and without going too dark, I was abused by one of my ex-girlfriends, well, my only ex-girlfriend. And that caused me to have to drop out of school. So, but even with that, like, I don't have my grade 12. I am unemployable. That was close. I am gonna put the carbon away now. I'm gonna grab a weapon I'm more comfortable with. You know what? It's been a long time since I used the junior. I'm gonna use a junior. I'm gonna get back to favorites. I know I'm debatably using the worst junior, but I hate ink armor. I don't like specials that don't do anything productive. And to me, the ink armor effect is not productive enough. There's two princesses. The princesses are in this castle now! Princesses just sounds like the wrong word. In my school, it would depend on if you had that. Like, if you did remarkably well in grades 10 through, 10 and 11, you would only have about half a year come grade 12. If you didn't do well, then you'd have a full year. I was in line to have a full year grade 12. Not exactly because I was doing bad, but because, well, I was skipping school a lot, so my grades were low, my test scores were high. Which frustrated the vice principal at my high school to no end, because he knew I was smart. Like, multiple times apparently, when I was in grade 9, he had conversations with my mother about having me legitimately skip a year worth of credits, because he knew I was smart enough. I was never told this, or else I probably would have started going to school more. Like, I think the thing that everybody, my mother, the vice principal, everybody missed about me going to school and actually staying there was I needed a reason. To me, school is a waste of time. That piece of paper is incredibly important, but the process of going to school is a waste of time. you waste away your childhood in a brick building doing nothing productive. The most productive thing you do in school is make friends. And it's rare you keep all of the friends you make past school because you all go your separate ways. School was the only thing you had in common. Which makes the internet a far better place to make friends. Because you make friends on the internet because of, well, the things you like. Sure, you might have things in common with your friends in school, but in general, you'll all have different plans for life. Which is sad, and the thing is, I took it seriously too. Just in a different way. My taking school seriously was, I'm going to go in and get a 90 to 100 on every single test. I am going to prove I am already smart enough to be done with this year of schooling. So, while I was not at school, I was at the library. Learning. Properly learning. Or I would be at a antique store in the downtown of the town I lived in that had public access computers. And I would be studying things. I would be looking up things I didn't already know and learning. I love learning. I hate being told things I already know. I hate being treated like I don't know things I already know. And those are two things that school did for me. Like, I would do everything a teacher said. Sometimes, you know, too much, but I'll have to tell you this story tomorrow, Beast Mode. I'm going to continue the story for the people who are here. But yeah, have a good night, Beast Mode. As an example of how bad of a student I was, bad as in a troublemaker, in my class Exploring Technology, which I thought would be a completely different class, and I was purely taking it so I didn't have to take another simple math class. No, it's fine. Have a good night. Need sleep. Yeah, in Exploring Technology, we had a student teacher come in. And he was, well, teaching our class, as student teachers do. He and I did not get along. He and I did not get along in the slightest. And part of us not getting along was me basically not respecting him at all. Because he was trying way too hard to be the cool teacher that everybody loved. You know, everyone would love. Alright, Beast Mode. So again, have a good night. Torpedoes suck. So, one day, quite often for Exploring Technology, we'd be in the computer lab, so I would not take anything with me to the class. I'd leave my clipboard, because I use a clipboard instead of a binder. I just found it more productive. I'd leave my clipboard and all my books and stuff just in my locker, and before the next class, I'd just go to my locker and get them. So, he decided that we'd start doing blogs. Now, these blogs he had us do were on paper. He was having us write internet blogs on paper. And I did not like this. This was not graded work, so I wasn't doing it. And one day, because we always did it at the beginning of class, I was just sitting at my desk, just not doing anything. I had some paper in my pocket, like, folded up. Because I always carried a little bit of paper. I also always carried my pencils in my pocket. I was just sitting there waiting for us to go to the computer lab, because that's when the actual classwork started. That's when, you know, I actually would start caring. And he came up to me and went, "Where's your stuff?" And my response, "In my locker." "Why is it there?" "Because there's nothing to do in the class before we get to the computer lab." "Well, there's your blog." "I'm not doing that." As he just goes, "Yes, you are. Take out some paper." It's like, where am I going to get that from? To his response is, "I know you have some on you. Get out some paper." So I did. I got out my paper. He then told me to get out a pencil or a pen. So I got out my pencil. He then told me to write something on the piece of paper. I very calmly reached forward and wrote the word "something" on that piece of paper and then handed it to him. I never saw him more pissed off. He demanded I leave the class and go to the office. I left the class and the building and just left. I did exactly what he told me to. And I told that to the vice principal the next day when I went to the office, because I was supposed to go to the office and I didn't. Because I did exactly what he told me to do. If he wanted me to write my blog on that piece of paper, he should have told me to write a blog on that piece of paper, not the word "something." I would have just wrote "my blog" on that piece of paper and handed that to him. Like the words "my blog." Because I was not having any of his crap that day. Like, I know why he got so frustrated with me, but I don't care. Yeah, I will. Have a good night, Beast Mode. For the third time. Like, I was very much just destroying any semblance of authority he had. And as the regular teacher of that class told him, there was a method to my madness. He was trying too hard to be the cool guy teacher that everyone would love, and not every student is gonna put up with that. I was one of said students. I was not going to put up with that. And he should be ready to deal with more students like me. How you deal with them is not through telling them to go to the office. They don't want to be in the class in the first place. What you do is tell them, okay, sit there and do whatever you want. Oh, AI. Oh, you're already here. Guess you just came back. Like, I will fully admit, if I had my grade 12 and the money to do it, I would be studying to become a teacher right now. Because that is the job I want. I want to be a teacher. I want to spread my love of learning to the future generation. Well, future generations. Like, I want to do that. But I would never strive to be the cool teacher. I would strive to be that teacher that everybody hates in the moment, but later down the road realizes that they learnt the most from my class. Because that's the teacher you come to appreciate down the road. I don't care if I'm hated in the moment. The students will realize in time that what I'm doing is helping them learn. And they only hate me in that moment because I'm being strict. I'm creating an environment where they can learn, and that involves being strict. Stricter than most people want. I mean, I'm told that a lot, but I don't personally see it myself. I see myself as a bit of a jerk. I can be quite jerkish. Usually only when it's warranted, though. should grab my undercover. Assert my undercover dominance. But I won't do that. Because that would be mean. Let's see. I'm gonna grab the Heavy Splatling Remix. Let's drop a remix on these fools. That's the first and last time I'll ever say that. Yeah, I will always be the type of person that I will very much encourage all of you to learn everything you can about things that interest you. And if you're bad at a subject, don't worry about it. Like, say, if you're bad at math, it's fine. You're good at something else. Don't let being bad at math bring you down. Everyone's bad at some subject. I myself, as I've mentioned, I am terrible at spelling. I spell at about the level of a 4th grader. When I was in high school, I spelt at about the level of a preschooler. I could not spell words to save my life. I could spell them well enough that you'd know what I'm trying to say. But I was terrible at spelling. I loved writing, I still do. I write with a spell checker on so I can correct my spelling. Ow. No, I did not know that. Ow. That is one thing I'd like to say I'm probably going to be good at noticing if I ever can become a teacher, is when people are dealing with, like, family issues and stuff like that. Like, abusive families and the like. Because, well, I've been abused. I had an abusive father. I've had an abusive girlfriend. Like, I know what signs to look for because I've lived it. I mean, everyone has that one grade that they are, you know, just a real jerk in. But yeah. Get another of these. Ah, yes! Booyah bombs! I know, I actually, yeah, GG's all around. In 7th grade, I actually lost one of my closest friends because we had an argument over art. And I know I've told this story before, but I don't think anyone here has been around for it. In 7th grade, both myself and this friend that I lost, basically we both joined DeviantArt. I was posting legitimate art I was making, which wasn't great. My old DeviantArt account is just cringe central. I'm tempted to just go delete it. I am not going to say the name of it because, well, it's just cringe central. If it even still exists. And he was posting art that he made from bases. For those who don't know what a base is, it's basically... think of it like a page of a coloring book. All you basically do is you take a base and you add color to it, and... ta-da! You've quote-unquote made an image. You haven't really. You've just colored a picture. To me, that is not art, and it never will be. It's coloring a picture. Unless you're massively changing the base, because some people do use bases to get a basic pose, and that's about it. But my old friend was using bases as artwork, and was trying to pass them off as just that, like actual artwork. And I was having none of it. Because it's not art. He could draw, he was just refusing to. And I knew it. Because I had seen his physical on-paper drawings. He was good, he probably still is. But he would rather spend his time making bases. Yeah, tracing and base work are basically the same. You're still putting no effort into the actual image itself, and it's sad. Especially when good artists do it. Like, I mean, a good artist can do it and be as a joke, and that's fine. It's clear they're joking around. But when good artists do it, and they're being serious about it, like, that's just sad. Like, they can physically draw better, but no, they're gonna use that base instead. Like, why? Why would you waste your talent? But yeah, basically, we had a massive falling out over that, and I lost him as a friend. Even now, I'm willing to bet he still hates me. And I was only mad at him because I knew how good he was at drawing. Also, hello, X-Gamer. I still honestly feel bad for the other person that was in our small friend group, because there was 3 of us. The other guy was just caught in the middle of this. Like, he didn't want to take a side. He was the least artistic of the 3 of us. So, like, he didn't want to take a side at all. Thing is, I tried talking to that friend again in grade 9. We were kinda friends again for, like, a month. And then he just stopped talking to me altogether. It was really clear he was still mad at me. And what's up? I'm just telling stories about when I was in school. I tend to just tell stories here. Like, the gameplay is just something for you guys to watch while you listen to me ramble. That's what these streams are like. I'll try and talk about the game, but there's really not much to talk about. Like, I'm walking forward, I'm shooting. Yeah. I'm still shooting, still walking forward, throwing a point sensor. Like, there's not much to talk about when it comes to a shooter. When there is something to talk about, I will tend to talk about it, so. Ow. Like, I honestly wouldn't doubt, like, if I were to try and talk with him now, that there's a chance that he and I might be able to make friends again. But, yeah, at this point, he may as well just keep living his life. I'll keep living my life. I honestly feel like that's the best answer for the entire situation. I mean, I have an entirely new group of friends now, so... I also have all of you, so... And just a simple thing, the main fact of it all is I've changed so much since back then. Like, I'll admit, back then I was a real jerk. Like, I could have legitimately been a better person. I just wasn't. A lot of that had to do with I was dealing with a lot of stuff. Like, as I've explained, I was too smart for my own good. I realized how little school was doing for me and just stopped going. Once again, if you're in school, don't start skipping school. The dopamine rush will keep you doing it. And then you'll end up failing. And then you'll end up having to either repeat a grade or drop out, and neither of those are preferable. But, like, I had that. And then, in grade 9, my second run through grade 9, I failed it once, because I was skipping school too much. I was doing better about being at school. Then my best friend died. Then my grandfather died. In the span of 4 days. I had lost 2 people that I really cared about. And I just shut down for the rest of that year. I had just completely shut down. Because that's how I deal with grief. I just shut down and seclude myself from everybody. The way my brain has always looked at it is it's my grief, it's mine to bear. I shouldn't force that on anybody else. So, like, I didn't have the best go of school. I can still give great advice for people who are going to school, and I can even give advice for anyone who finds himself in that position I was in. If your school has one, go see the counselor. That is what he or she is there for. I didn't go see the counselor because, once again, I don't like bothering people with my problems. Like, had I not come to terms with the fact I've been abused, I would not be mentioning it at all. Ever. I only truly came to terms with it because of the MMO EVE Online, and the friends I made playing that. The friends I've made, and the group Broadcast for Reps, which is just an amazing group. I will forever sing their praise, because they are just an amazing group of people doing great things. To give a bit of information, Broadcast for Reps is a player-made help initiative, basically. It's based in the game EVE Online, but they have a public Discord that anybody can join and talk about problems in. And it's basically just a group of people that are there to listen. They're not professionals. They're not mental health professionals. I'm sure some of them actually are, but they're contractually obligated to tell you they are not professionals. They're just there to listen. Lend a shoulder to cry on if you need it. And it's amazing. I love that group. They have helped so many people and undoubtedly changed lives. It's amazing. It's honestly a case of, like, if you want to know more about Broadcasts for Reps and just how good of a group of people they are, in my liked videos on YouTube, there is what has been come to be known of as the Olivia saga, where somebody came to the Broadcast for Reps group claiming to be a girl named Olivia, and basically told this horrible story that she had been, trolled in the Broadcast for Reps group, but couldn't provide any evidence, and everyone was standing with this Olivia, because that was awful. She got trolled in the group that was there to help. Like, that's an awful thing to have happen. Turned out the entire story was fake. They lied about the whole story to gain sympathy and items in-game. And while the entire group condoned the actions, everyone's response was, well, there are Olivias out there. There are people that need help. We can't let this one incident ruin us. Yeah, GG's all around. Also, in my liked videos, there should be the actual Broadcast for Reps video explaining who they are, what they do. I'm gonna go to my undercover. I think after this match, I'm gonna start Dynamo time. Which will mean an hour of nothing but the Dynamo roller. Well, you were trying to kill me, AI. What was I supposed to do? Not throw the Booyah Bomb directly into your face? Maybe don't stand trying to kill me. Well, I won't try and kill you. That's how this works. If I could sing, I would start singing the EVE Online song Killing is Just a Means. It's a song made by the developers of the MMO. And them singing it too, which is beautiful. Like, the EVE Online developers have their own band called Permaband. It's beautiful. They have many songs. They have such hits such as Killing is Just a Means and Warp to the Dance Floor and oh jeez, I forget the other ones. Come Fly With Us. That's a great one. Wrecking Machine, that's another one. HTFU, which you can guess what that means. It is not something very friendly. Yo, what's up, AI? I don't know. Well, probably because I'm kind of patrolling the center, and I see you again. I've been just kind of going up and down the center. So, I mean, that might be why. Now, to begin Dynamo time. It's not obvious that's my main. Now, let's see here. Which Dynamo to use first? Yeah, I'll use the standard. I hate Stingray, but I'm apparently not bad with it, so... Snapper Canal seems like a horrible map for it, though. Skipper Pavilion to a point as well. Oh, that poor level 4. I hope they're not a legitimate level 4. Bernie! I hope that's another Fire Emblem player. Bernadetta is the best character in Fire Emblem Three Houses. Fight me. No joke, from what I've learned about Bernadetta, she is a purple-haired version of my girlfriend, and I love her. Her nickname is Bernie. Oh, that is actually a... Based on how they're playing, that's actually a new player. Oh, I'm so sorry, new player. I don't want to do you like this, but the game's left me no choice. Ow. Killed by Bernie. Ow. Alright, Brian. I've honestly done that before as well, just exiting by accident. Oh, I'm sorry, person. I don't want to do that to you, person. Yes, they must be doing pretty okay to be thrown into this lobby. They're just not doing well enough to actually, you know, do good in this lobby. So sorry, player. Ice, I believe your name would be. That felt mean. I feel mean whenever I kill low-level players a lot. Because I'm always worried that I'm ruining their experience. I mean, he got a kill. He got a kill. Half of my kills were him. He stuck around. He leveled up. So, okay. I mean, I still feel horrible. Like, it's why I plan on doing a series. I'm here twice! What? It's almost the same level, too! What is this wizardry? On the same team. Same name. I didn't see where Isa is. Okay, he's on my team. Good. I can try and protect him. I'm not gonna do a good job of it, but I can try and protect him. I will fail to protect you, Isa. Ow. Seeing a lot of Splash-O-Matics around. Mel! I should start using my Octo Expansion gear more. Well, I say that. I should start using the Conductor's Cap more. That hat is adorable and is best hat. Like, I don't care that it has sub power-up, and sub power-up is pretty useless on most things. I love that hat. It is absolutely adorable. Mostly because it's just so teeny. Just a teeny little conductor's cap. I feel like I should really be trying to help protect Isa more. Mostly because I knew someone in EVE called Maisa. And he was a really nice person. And they have very similar names, so it's all I need. Oh, I can't sub. I'm so sorry, AI. Go, Isa! No, you didn't get him. You tried, buddy. You tried. I'm dead. Ow. That Leanne person just used their teammate as a shield. I don't like doing 1v1s on streams. Plus, it's Dynamo time. That would just be unfair. I splatted more than the imposter. The imposter who has the wrong hair and is an inkling. I should really use a different Dynamo. It's the same, like, I don't like doing, 1v1s on stream for the same reason why I don't like small private battles. Is because I don't feel like there's much going on. No! Our low-level player left! Isa! Isa, no! You've had a casualty. Really hope they didn't, like, rage quit. Like, I always feel so bad. At least it probably isn't my fault. I was giving him an encouraging booyah. I did that. I tried. I like the fact that the toothpick has special charge up. It's very fitting for that fight. Like, aesthetically, like, with its ability, I really like it. I refuse to wear it because I don't want people thinking I'm actually good. Because I'm not really. I'm adequate at best. I say that, and 90% of you would probably disagree with that. And then Rand would be, no, you're pretty bad. No, Rand would probably actually say I'm good. Let's do this. I think that's Andromeda. That was a TV show, wasn't it? I'm sure it was. Stingray is still terrible. Yeah, Andromeda's an old TV show. Okay. Just trying to remember. There's a spaceship called the Andromeda. That's one thing I've learned. Space TV shows last a lot longer than space video games tend to. It makes me sad. I killed the imposter! Yes! Didn't even realize they were on the other team this time. So I imagine they're actually like a Stephanie or something. Take that, stop dying. Why don't you stop dying? Yeah. Also, this might be a completely weird question. So a lot of you, I imagine there's a decent chance you've never even heard of it. Do any of you here like Star Trek? I feel like that is an important question to ask. Do you remember which movie? It's alright if you don't remember. I am a decent Star Trek nerd. You could probably give me the plot synopsis, and I could probably tell you which movie it was. Honestly, you could just, if you could remember him, tell me what the captain looked like, and I could probably tell you what movie it was. Or at least give a rough idea. BN is Brave Newbies. It is a clan I started after the stream chat wanted me to make a clan. I stole the name from an EVE Online Alliance. It is a clan that anyone can join, because we don't really have a competitive team, so... I'm still working on that. Also, while I'm still kind of thinking of it, I want to keep telling more school stories. Oh, excuse me. I just took a drink of soda, so I'm gonna be a little gassy. Must have been one of the J.J. Abrams movies, because I don't remember anything like that AI. The alternate timeline movies that I never watched, because I don't like explosions and lens flares. Yeah, there was one day in school. This is something I still find hilarious. Me and one of my friends decided that we were gonna troll one of the substitute teachers. Because this was the substitute teacher's first time being at the school. He was a gym teacher. We spent the entire day talking in a Russian accent. The entire day. Neither of us faltered at our Russian accent. It drove our other friends insane. Because, just imagine that for a moment. One of your friends is just randomly talking in a Russian accent and not telling you why. Spotted my imposter again. Ow. Hello, Wackiest Storm. It's like, we basically spent the entire day talking in Russian accents and claiming we were exchange students from Russia. Which, my high school had exchange students. None of them were from Russia. This substitute teacher knew that, and tried to have us removed from the building because we clearly didn't belong there. We were from Russia, that's what we're saying. And even when we were confronted by the vice principal, who knew us, we were troublemakers. He was just like, no, they live here. They're just idiots. He legitimately called us idiots. It was great. And, like, we held up the accent when in classes that weren't gym class, purely so that, you know, if he were to, like, show up, because teachers would quite often go to other classes when they didn't have a class. And quite often the gym wouldn't have classes in it. Like, it was 3 periods a day usually, there'd be a class in the gym. So we kept the accent up, just in case. Drove some of our teachers mad, too. We explained the joke the next day, and most of our teachers found it hilarious. Our friends found it hilarious, knowing the context. And from that point on, we both continued, like, every morning just talking to each other in Russian accents. It was great. Racist, maybe? Yeah. But at the same time, it was funny. And we would make stereotypical jokes. Like, we joked about vodka, the cold, you know, standard things. Said, da is good a lot. Can't do a good Russian accent anymore. It's been so long. Yes, how's it going, Wackiest? It's been a while since you've been at a stream. I'm gonna use a different dynamo, because it is dynamo time still. Let's go with this one. Oh, excuse me. You know what, let's see if I can... No, that didn't work out well last time. That's tenacity and... Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. I'll just get my ink back faster. It does make me kind of sad that 2 of the dynamos have terrible specials. I mean, I know people swear by the ink armor and stingrays. At least they used to swear by stingrays. Apparently stingray got nerfed. I don't think it needed a nerf, but you know. I mean, maybe I'm just weird, but I really did not think that Stingray needed nerfed. It needed buffed, if anything. Like, I mean, maybe I'm still just stuck in way too much of a mindset of the first Splatoon. But the killer whale was powerful. The stingray is weak. Always watch for the dynamo, AI. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. I should always be watching for the Splashmatic. I will join you, Amber. Oh, jeez! No! Jerk! I was having a nice walk with Amber. Amber, you got some stuff on your foot there. No, I don't know why I decided to just start walking with that person. I just did. I'm gonna go with the other dynamo. I don't like the gold. I do not like the gold dynamo at all. I just don't want to have them separated. I'm gonna keep this equipment, though. So I really need a cough drop, because my throat is getting really sore. There's just a murderer AI. It's fine, though. The whole point is to murder people. And we were easy targets. So I cannot blame you. I would have taken that kill. And hey, now all three of us are on the same team. I don't know why that person didn't move. I guess they just accepted their fate. Ow. I don't know why my throat's getting so scratchy. Probably because I've been getting loud, and when I get loud, my throat gets scratchy, because my throat isn't very used to being loud. I am a very quiet person. Like, I'll give an example. I had, for quite a long time, a noise reduction filter put on my audio for streaming and recording and such, because I was trying to cancel out background noise. And it worked for doing that. Problem is, it made me really low as well. Ah, jeez. I hate how I can't turf my feet very easily. Yeah, I basically needed to remove that filter. And now I can get my audio to the point where it actually enters the red. I'm also keeping my head probably about maybe 10 centimeters from my microphone. Like, I'd usually sit, like, back about here, but now you can probably tell I'm sitting further away from the microphone because I'm barely reaching the yellow mark on OBS. If I'm here, I'm reaching yellow all the time and actually going into red quite often, which is where you want to be from what I understand. I'm gonna go with this. Just get more recharge. That's a special charge. I will bring order to this horrible place where chaos reigns. I mean, I haven't been watching your score at the end, AI, but I'm willing to bet you're better at sniping than I am. Because you probably don't have as shaky of hands. That is another thing I can give some advice on. If you ever think you might want to try and get into, like, playing StarCraft semi-professionally or professionally, you get wrist braces. Like, I know wrist braces have, like, a bad rap, because they're associated with, oh, like, the WoW gamer kind of thing. Like, the stereotypical, like, fat WoW gamer. World of Warcraft, for those who don't know what WoW is. But, like, don't let that stop you from taking care of your wrists. The human wrist is not designed for dealing with a few hundred actions a minute. Like, I could manage a fairly consistent, like, 80 to 100 APM, which is actions per minute, when I was playing StarCraft. Like, your wrists are not meant to handle that. Especially, your left wrist, assuming you're right-handed, or just use a keyboard in the right-handed fashion. Because your left hand is the one that's hitting every hotkey. Every single hotkey. Which means you're moving your fingers a lot, you're moving your wrist a lot, you're using all of the muscles in your forearm and wrist, and hand for that matter. I wouldn't be surprised if I actually have carpal tunnel. I'll put it that way. I've never been tested, I don't have a family doctor, so I legitimately can't be tested for it. Because, yay, Canadian healthcare system. If you don't have a family doctor, you're screwed. And there's a doctor shortage in my province, so... Ow. I mean, I don't so much panic when I find my targets. I just have shaky hands. And also, for anyone who might be wondering, like, how much time did it take for me to become Master League in StarCraft 2? I spent nearly an entire summer playing StarCraft 2, 8 to 10 hours a day. I basically worked. I spent a work week every week. Actually, more than that. Playing StarCraft 2. Getting better, learning strategies, watching my replays back to see what I did wrong. Like, I was taking it very seriously. And then I reached Master League, and I realized that I had reached Master, but I was not good enough to be in Master League. I could not keep up. It didn't help that in Master League you start running into Grandmaster players too, which there aren't many of. There are only 100 players that get into Grandmaster. Ow. And usually about 80 of those slots are Koreans. Ow. You know, my throat is getting really sore. I think after this I'm gonna actually have to end the stream off, so it'll only be half an hour of Dynamo time. So this will be my final match for the stream, because, like, again, my throat's getting really sore. I will do the Discord spiel now, though. For those who are new here, welcome. There is a Discord. Now, should you wish to join it, it is linked in the description on YouTube, in the info on Twitch. On Twitch, you just click the little button that's jellyfish holding a sign that says Discord. Oh, excuse me. It'll take you to the stream's Discord, and just for those who don't know what Discord is a free, basically, chat program that has text and voice capabilities. It's a really nice place. I tend to announce there when I'm going live, purely because it's just easier to make sure everyone gets the notification if I do that. So if you really want to make sure that you catch, all of my streams, join the Discord. You'll get a notification there every time I go live. I could probably actually set it up to do it automatically, but I like doing it physically, because it means the message is usually different. I mean, sometimes it's not. If I play the same game too many times in a row, it definitely doesn't change all that much. Because there's only so many ways I can say that I'm playing the same game. And also, I will very likely be back streaming tomorrow, hopefully with a more intact throat. And my stream will be starting at the same time. In the description on YouTube and in the info on Twitch, I do have my schedule that has the rough time at which I start my streams. In Atlantic time. I'm in the Atlantic time zone. I use Atlantic time. It's an hour ahead of Eastern, for those who are curious. But yeah, with all that out of the way, thanks everyone for coming out and watching, and hopefully I shall see you tomorrow for whatever I stream tomorrow. It might not be Splatoon, because I've been doing it a lot. I'm sorry, GoFunny, the stream is actually just ending. I will be back streaming tomorrow, though, at midnight Atlantic time, or 11 PM Eastern. Or 10 PM the time zone behind Eastern. Or like 4 AM British time. I think it'd be 4 AM. I need to ask my British friend what time it is tomorrow. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I hope everyone had fun. And hopefully I shall see you all tomorrow. See you all then.